like when you feel that you are down, and when you feel that you are low on energy, you have to accept that. You have to understand that you are also a human being.
Okay, welcome to Teman Bicara Damay. So today we have special guest here. That's my friend from Maldives. It is like Aminath Ali. So maybe you can tell to Teman Bicara Damay who listen this podcast, like where are you from and what you are doing. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me here. And like you said, I'm from Maldives, the beautiful Maldives. Right now, I am actually working at the Maldives University as a campus manager in the northern part of the country, which is called Kulhudhuffushi. So I'm a campus manager there. Apart from that, I'm also a business and entrepreneurship coach. And also, I do a lot of social and community work. I am one of the founders of a regional NGO called Southern Community Empowerment Association of Maldives. So my passion lies a lot in the areas of youth empowerment, community engagement, and women empowerment.
Okay, so that's so cool profile of Aminat Ali. So if you wanted to see more her project or what she's doing now, you can see like her Instagram or her profile LinkedIn. So because Amina shared a lot as well on LinkedIn. Yeah, thank you for sharing your profile, Aminat. So today we want to talk about like how we can maintain our energy or enthusiasm doing like to do things that we want. Example, like sometimes we feel tired or like exhausted and lack of enthusiasm. So in your opinion, like how do you maintain your energy and enthusiasm during like in your personal or professional life? So I think we wanted to hear from you.
Yes. So it's like you said, it's not always easy to maintain the same level of energy and enthusiasm because things happen in your personal life, things happen in your professional life. The only thing that is constant in this world is that change. Change is the only constant thing. So with the changes, a lot of things will happen, and as a result of that, we sometimes lose our motivation. We sometimes have low energy. But the important thing is how to overcome that and how to maintain that level of energy. So I'll be sharing some of the things that I feel works for me. And I hope that these are some of the things that are going to help others as well. So one very important thing is like when you feel that you are down, and when you feel that you are low on energy, you have to accept that. You have to understand that you are also a human being. So give yourself that time, then that is completely okay. So one very important thing is to take time, and when you feel you are low on energy, you don't feel so motivated at times, just take the time and do something that you love doing. And another important thing that you could do is maybe you could engage yourself in spiritual activities. So you could pray, you could make duas. So this is something that is going to help you a lot because it helps me a lot. It helps me to stay calm. It helps me to deal with things. And I feel that this is something that is going to help others as well. And about maintaining the same level of energy and enthusiasm, one very, very important thing is that you need to be passionate about what you do. you have to have that passion and that interest in order to enjoy what you do. Because if you don't love what you do, you are not going to enjoy it. That's for sure. So it's like, for instance, for me, I love talking to people. I love helping others. So if I am, let's say, if I'm to do a job, I'm sure I'm not going to be happy. I need to see people. I need to talk to people. People give me that energy. And so it's very important to identify what you are passionate about, what you have an interest in. So this is something very important, aligning your personal and the professional goals with the things that genuinely excite you, right? So that way you are able to maintain that level of energy. You know, you always have something to look forward to. And then another thing is, like, with what I do, I know that I'm, even if it is just a small difference, I'm making some kind of a difference in the world that gives me the satisfaction, and at the same time it keeps me motivated. You should be the person who motivates yourself, because no one else can do it for you. So unless you know and understand this concept that self-motivation is important and you are your biggest motivator, unless you accept this and unless you understand this, is going to be very, very, very difficult. So there's another point that I wanted to highlight. And then about time management. We all have 24 hours. It's not like I have more than 24 hours. I wish I had, but unfortunately, we all have just 24 hours. So prioritizing the tasks that are important to you, prioritizing what you need to do is important. So one thing that I like doing is, when I wake up in the morning, I just, like, after the prayers and all, I just take some time for myself. I just think about the task at hand and what are the most important things that I need to do on a particular day. And this helps me a lot. Taking some time for yourself, prioritizing what you need to do, and then focusing on that. So I hope that this is also something that's going to be beneficial to others. And there are just two more points that I wanted to highlight on this aspect. Like I said, when I started to talk, it's important that we understand that we also feel low on energy. Sometimes we will feel down. And sometimes it could be because of the people who are around us. Sometimes it could be because of our friends or our family or our colleagues. So at times, you have to keep certain boundaries. So keeping those boundaries also will help you to be motivated. It will help you to stay with that same level of energy. And another very important thing is continuous learning, because we can never learn enough, right? We can never learn enough. So ask yourself the question as to, what did I do for myself today? What is the something that I learned today, something new? It could be, it's not that you have to just attend trainings or workshops in order to learn. Just very simple things. Like, for instance, if you are scrolling through maybe the feed of your Facebook or Instagram, just look for things that you are interested in. Maybe you might learn something new. Maybe you could start habits of reading. Maybe you could watch, instead of just watching movies, maybe invest just maybe 30 minutes or 15 minutes of your time in a documentary. There are very interesting documentaries. So you could just, which are like movies, of course, stories about people. So keep on learning because the more you learn, the more you grow. And this in turn will lead you to taking on new steps in your life, and it will definitely help in your growth. So with that, I just wanted to like share also about. I love reading, by the way, and I hope you can see this. So this is the book I just started reading, which says the mountain is you, and this is a book about transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery. And as I started to read this book, I realized like yeah, we do this a lot. Like we self-sabotage. We sometimes we are so afraid to take a step that we step back. We self-sabotage. For instance, if it is in your professional life, maybe at workplace, you have a fear of failure. So instead of failing, you just take a step back and you say, I can't do this. So instead of that, if you just keep on learning, if you love what you do, if you are able to identify that, that will definitely help you to be more motivated. It will help you to keep that energy level and be more enthusiastic about what you do. So just a few tips and a few things on that I like to do. And of course, there will be a lot more as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, Sister Amina. So I wanna make highlight based on your statement or sharing before. Like first, that acceptance, and the second one that we need to have have having me time, and praying, and others like time management and setting boundaries with people surrounding you, and the last, the thing that love what you do. So my my question like this: if there is situation that I think I cannot love what I'm doing now, or I cannot love what I do now, so how, like, think like, do you have another tips if I'm facing the situation that I don't love what I do? So because you said do what you love, but maybe we face like another challenge that we need to do the things that we don't like. Yeah, that's my question. Another question.
Yes. So basically, the question is like, what do you do if you don't love what you do, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So I have been in that situation. It's not that I found what I love and I started to do that.
yeah,
At one point in my professional life, I was very demotivated. Honestly, I was I was always late to work, and I couldn't understand as to why this was the case. But it seems like it was because I didn't like what I was doing at that time. It was too much of administrative work and it was too much of repetitive tasks that I was doing. So I at that time I didn't really understand as to why this was happening because of course I didn't always want to be there to work. I didn't want to like be the worst employee. Of course, I wasn't, but still I felt like I was at one point. So what I did was I decided to maybe try something new. So there is something that maybe you could do. Maybe it's not the best job for you. Like, for instance, this can be applied to our personal life as well. Maybe for example, when we are in a relationship, if we don't feel the satisfaction, if we don't feel happy, then maybe there is something that needs to be done about it. Maybe we need to talk about it more. Maybe we need to find as to what the actual reason is. And that is the case, try to explore, try to see what are the alternatives, what could be the solutions for this. So no matter what you do, be it in your personal life or professional life, the first thing is you have to understand, or you have to identify that whether you are enjoying what you are doing or not. So then I took this new step. I took the step of like changing my career. And again, it's not like you just discover this. So I changed my workplace, but then again, I realized that I'm again doing the same thing. I'm doing repetitive tasks. And of course, at that point, I was in the middle level management, but then still, I didn't really enjoy what I was doing. So I thought maybe this is not exactly what I'm supposed to do. And then again, I learned that I really like to teach people. I like to train people. So I was at that time also, this was way back in 2015 and 2016. I was doing part-time lecturing as well. I knew that I liked that. So then I saw this job opportunity as a training coordinator at Business Center Corporation. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to apply for this. Even though the pay was less, I thought this is something that I'm going to enjoy. And a lot of people did criticize me at that time because I was leaving a managerial position to go to this particular job with less pay. But I knew that this is something that I was going to enjoy. And honestly, that decision that I took in 2017 is what changed my whole perspective on a career. It kind of changed my whole life. I discovered that I I discovered that I loved helping, and I discovered that I do have a passion to help, especially young people and women who are in similar situations as me, or who needs to be brought into a better situation. So I discovered a lot of things because of this fact. So it's not that simple to love, and it's not that simple to identify just your passion as well. It takes some time, it takes experiences, it takes time. Maybe you need to explore a bit more, you need to learn about yourself, you need to identify what are your hobbies, what are your interests, what do you like to do, what do you dislike. So it's a mixture of a lot of things when it comes to identifying what you love to do. So this process, this is a whole process, and it takes time as well. So even if you have not decided, that's completely okay. That's completely fine. Because believe me, at one point you are going to discover that about yourself. When I discovered that, it was in 2017, which means just a few years back. At that point, I have already worked in 4 other organizations. But now I know exactly where I am headed. I know my life purpose. I know I have my professional goals. I know what I want to do. And there's another funny story that I want to share here. Like, I had this thing in my mind when I was in school that my name needs to be Dr. Aminath Ali when I reach 35 years of age. And that's what I was working towards. So as soon as I finished my A levels, I just went into bachelor's degree. I took a break of 1 year. I did my master's, and I was almost going to start my PhD when I got an amazing mentor. So he helped me to discover a lot of things about myself again. And through our mentorship, I realized that this is not the right time for me to do my PhD. So I didn't want to start, and I am already 35 years of age. I don't have a PhD. I'm still called Amina. There's no doctor in front of my name, but still I'm happy with that. So this is how things change in our life. So it's a process. You learn through this process, and for different people, their timeline will be different. For different people, it takes different processes, different things to discover this as well. Yeah. So it's completely fine. And if you feel that you are not happy, if you are not happy with what you are doing, it's time to move on. It's time to find those alternatives and see what works best for you.
Wow, thank you so much. That's excellent, sister. So, like the first thing that we need to explore the new things and try until we realize the best thing that maybe fit for us or for me. And the last thing that I like wanted to make highlight for you that there is no let for this or for that. Like everyone like running in their timeline, right? So it's okay to takes so much time to find what the best thing for us or for me. So that really great insight. Thank you so much for the tips and also for the books that you are sharing before. Like Mantan is you, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. That's my mini podcast, sister.
Thank you so much for having me. It was amazing to have this chat with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.